The Square Ball Podcast.
Well, greetings to you. Welcome to the show. This is Propaganda, the show where we find out what's been said in the football world this week. Dan here, along with Michael and Moscow White, in a show that is brought to you in association with Levi Solicitors.
Yep. Yeah, it's not any weeks, I don't think. Moscow told me last week it was conveyancing week.
He might have made that up, mightn't he?
He might have done. No, I did check it.
Oh, right,
I did check it. It was legit.
You claim to already know. Were you lying?
I might have been stretching the truth a little bit, yes. But it is probate week.
Were you trying to get street cred for knowing when National Conveyancing Week was? You didn't want to get anybody to think you weren't cool.
Well, I'm big in the conveyancing community, aren't I? So it's embarrassing to not know it, I suppose. But maybe it's better to just fess up.
Were you dissing it because you weren't asked to be part of it?
So, probate week, you say?
Yeah, well, it might be, it might not.
Right. Can you give me the dictionary definition of what probate is? Because obviously you're an expert in these.
No. It's the short answer.
It's the official...
It's like dispersing stuff from a will.
The official proving of a will.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
Yes, I do that. Levi Solicitors.
.co.uk/the square ball to get a 10% discount on your legal fees. Wide range of services on there. If you're a regular viewer listener, you will know what at least some of them are. If not, they have a website that will tell you all the rest. And that's probably a better place to find out and get advice than from us.
Maybe.
But you can do it at a 10% discount. levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. Into propaganda then. And before we go on the magical mystery tour that Michael has prepared for us around the football world this week, should we check in on Dad and see how he's doing since the divorce?
You know, we've got fans that are very emotional and keep reminding us we've got to stick together. I mean, the team's got to stick together. We've got a job to do. We've got 8 games to make a difference and get out of that relegation zone. And we can do it. But when I see people just making conciliatory comments, they're defeated. We're going to go down. I sometimes wonder, are those fans from that place that starts with an L, ends with a D and S? I don't want to say that, but it just gives them fodder, frankly. And I mean, we're better than that.
We're better than that. That's the Huddersfield owner, Kevin Nagel.
It was ages ago we played him.
Yeah, but they're better than giving us fodder, he says, while refusing to say the word Leeds as a grown man. So there's that.
Also relying very Jesse Marsh-esque, relying on the power of fans' positive thinking on social media. That's what's going to keep them up.
Yeah.
Not better players than Oge and co.
Yeah, it's good that he's very much playing to the social media crowd, because that is how you will secure your safety in the Championship, I feel.
Just believe and tweet positively.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to solve everything. So good luck with that strategy. See how that works out for them.
And
or maybe all the metrics of the engagement that they're getting on social media, if there's a reduction in negativity amongst Huddersfield fans, we'll see a direct correlation to the results in the league table. And I would like to see him produce that data.
Credit for that goes to his strange-headed friend. Is it Carmichael?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Looks just
the guy who does the tweeting. Does Kevin himself have a Twitter account, or does he leave it?
Yeah, no, he's got one, yeah.
Does he?
Yeah, because he uses the asterisk quite a lot instead of the letter E when typing the word Leeds.
Only the word Leeds, or is it like cheese a problem for him?
Haven't looked that far into it, but I like to think that's the case, yeah.
Empathy becomes empathy. Just can't be doing with the letter E. Maybe it's a problem for him. Huddersfield without the R would be pretty... Well, without the... the R would be there.
Yeah.
But there's 2 E's that would be removed, wouldn't it? So it would become Huddersfield. Yeah, he's making life very complicated for himself.
Unnecessarily so.
Yeah, just use the E. It was... used to be the... which poet was it? Wrote books without using the letter E.
There was a whole book of it, wasn't there? Yeah.
Plenty of it. Anywho, he's following in that. Maybe he's following in that tradition.
A fan of that poet. I'm going to have to Google it now to find out who it was. Where are we going first then, Michael? Set us up for this.
Millwall, do you want to hear from someone who was at the ground first? I felt they were quite half-hearted, the Millwall fans. And the first clip, I feel, probably captures this, because this is Millwall Tube, and he's on a bus, and they're arriving into the little compound, and they're trying to do the sort of singing songs thing. But it's all so half-hearted, and they're filming out the window, and there's no one there to greet him. It's not like there's a load of baying Leeds fans there. There's just 2 lads on their phone, just looking at a screen, and they're trying to do their intimidating songs, and it sounded a bit like this, and it's a little bit sad sounding.
Just before I play that, have Googled it. It's the novel Gadsby, written in 1939 by Ernest Vincent Wright. 50,000 word novel, doesn't contain the letter E, or so Wright thought, because I think it's in there 4 times, and I don't know if that was an accident. So couldn't even do that right. So maybe Kev's really annoyed at that.
Maybe there were twice in Leeds twice. That's 4, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's good.
We don't care. We are Millwall. We are Millwall from the dead.
There we go.
Oh, it's not very intimidating, is it? Just a few old men singing on a film official bus.
You go tell them.
They might throw their flat caps at me.
Right.
A lot of flat caps. That's one thing I did pick up from the in-stadium footage as well. I've never seen such a high concentration outside of the 1920s, 30s, 10s. Don't know. Old clips, black and white clips, Pathé News. That's what I'm getting at, but with more violence. They also sing a song which is a variant of the Chelsea song that we sing, but they seem to be more Millwall-y lyrics, but more simple, more straightforward. And I cut it off there because the video went into some Jimmy Savile chants as well, which is always nice, isn't it? Should we hear the Gnonto goal? So this is as it is on Millwall Tube's video, and it's just a nice bit of contrast.
25 minutes gone here, and so far so good, I've got to say. Apart from maybe that Somerville chance, you know, they haven't really threatened us too much, to be fair, Leeds. It's Leeds United 1, Millwall 0. Great goal from Gnonto, I think his name is. Couldn't do much about that, to be fair.
They were so hopeful there, weren't they?
Gnonto?
Gnonto. It seems to be a common thing, does Gnonto. I don't know why. It's fairly obvious. I think it's because people have done one end and they refuse to acknowledge the second one. Maybe it's that Huddersfield guy's back in, putting little stars over it.
Next we go to 2-0, presumably, because that's what the game finished.
Yeah.
It's Leeds United 2, Millwall 0. Squared into the box. And then number 20, Dan Davies, finished it off from close range. Whilst I think we've been unlucky here, I do think we deserve a point for this game.
Deserve a point from that game. I'm struggling to agree with them there.
He struggles to agree with himself, actually, because he comes back post-game and he seems to have actually changed his mind on that, quite rightly so.
In the first half, Leeds definitely dominated us. In the second half, we had a little spell where it was looking like we were going to equalise, but looking back overall, I think Leeds definitely did deserve the win. You know, Sarkic made a few really good saves to keep us in the game at times.
Fair enough in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, they were not too upset by this, because I think they sort of knew it was coming.
Because they were rubbish.
Because they are rubbish. They're a bad team with a bad manager and bad players.
Yeah, and we're quite good.
Yeah, I watched it back again, and we were probably more in control than I remember from being in the ground. We were talking about it getting a bit weird before Dan James scored. It was actually the main thing that was happening was Rutter was having his chance, and then when it was saved and he hit the post. That was a very Rutter thing to do as well, when the keeper saves it and then he gets to the rebound himself, even though it's gone in a completely different direction, and that's another goal. But yeah, and then it was only I thought the last 10 minutes when they were attacking us it felt more panicky in the ground. Than obviously it helps knowing what happened, but watching it again, they were rubbish.
I feel like this is a recurring theme this year, that in the ground it's quite tense, but when you watch it back, you're like, well, they didn't really create any chances though, did they? There's always bits of games where the opposition has the ball, but then they don't do anything. It's the sort of the periods that if we have bits like that, I get frustrated because I'm like, we're just not doing anything here. We need to actually. It's very well having the ball, but at some point you need to try and create something.
There was the number 21 getting into the penalty area and kind of dribbling around. And then there was the Melier save from a header, but that was offside anyway. It's a good save. Probably even more difficult because the guy was getting in an unfair advantage closer to the goal than he should have been.
I was pleased that the club tweeted that out, actually. They wanted to give it a bit of credit, which was nice.
My dad made it to 73 minutes before he vacated his seat. Then he said, I'm going to watch 5 minutes downstairs, then go. So I'm thinking he probably saw it up to the second goal. As soon as goal number 2 went in, he was off because he was confident we were going to win.
Is that why he leaves?
No. What did you do at about 80 minutes, Michael, when Leeds went 2-0 up? Come on.
I put a bet on us not winning that game because I noticed it was 100-1 and I was like, £1. Just put £1 on that because if it does happen, I'm going to need something from this because I won't be able to bear it. I don't know. I feel like I've seen us mess up against Millwall enough times that there was something in my head when just cover this off.
That's what I was saying about when we recorded with Phil straight after the game, after we'd done the match ball, and it's the one that was out on Monday in your feed, saying that much of our terror is it's sort of a Leeds United PTSD, isn't it, from having seen these things before, even though you look at it and you think, well, we're a different animal now. But as Phil's kind of touched on before, you fear that there's always that some sort of terror. There's an existential dread about being a Leeds fan that it's bubbling under the surface. You think, oh, we might end up regressing to the mean or doing what we always do, but I don't know. We haven't done it yet. He says with 8 games to go.
Still time, isn't there? The Hull at home feels very, very Leedsy to lose. I think we lost that one in the Bielsa promotion season, didn't we? Or was it the year before, maybe? We certainly lost at some point.
We beat
home to Hull.
Oh, at home, yeah, because I was about to put some justice on Tyler Roberts' name for the 4-0 away.
It was when they still had Bowen, actually, because he was the one tearing us apart. I think it might have been Bielsa's first year, but it was... there's still time for us to ruin it.
Millwall, though.
Yeah, they weren't very good. Should we go Lions TV now? This is the home of that bloke who does his little musical interludes and his sort of strange little diversions.
Any song in this?
There may be a bit of song.
Oh, okay.
There may be a bit of a song. He wasn't at the game. He was watching it down the bottom of someone's garden, by the looks of it, in a little...
Could you just watch it somewhere normal? Why does it always have to be down the bottom of somebody's garden?
He was searching.
Did you know who they were?
Searching for the Cottingley Fairies, Moscow.
A long way away from them.
But here he is.
Down south.
Here he is complaining about the ref and with his traditional insult about this referee as well.
Let's start off with that referee because the condom full of fucking walnuts. What a prick. That geezer is such a fucking bellend, is unbelievable. Tight top like this. Oh, it's a Millwall player. Give him a card. Leeds one does it. Oh, fucking nubbing. Is he having a laugh? The amount of cards we got today was a fucking joke. And it was silly because when Leeds made a foul, nothing.
Was he equally bad for both sides, or we were just not as dirty?
No,
or have we?
I think he needs to probably address the fact that we should have had a penalty and they should have been out of 10 men in the first half.
Right.
And if not that, he could have done him for elbowing Ruter off the ball, same fella. And there was, I didn't like the tackle on Archie Gray either. I can't remember which one of there. He might have been then number 10, was quite late through him because he beat 3 players. You know, when he gets under pressure in the right back situation, it's like, I'll just dribble it around all of you. And he was halfway through in that and somebody just took him out. But yeah, the card count was a joke because there were not enough of them to Millwall players. That's it. That was the joke.
Just for the record, I've just had a look at the cards and it was 3 yellows to us, 4 to them.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Archie Gray tackle, the one Archie Gray did, I did see that back and he could have maybe been booked for that, but it's not like you need someone in the face or anything.
In the face?
And
that was no one, wasn't it?
Watching the replay back of that, and I know it's been picked up on the stance that Steve Martin took to observe it, where he's staring straight at it.
A real watching stance.
But the comparison between his very sort of I'm in charge stance and then his signals to say no penalty. You know, often the good referees will do a big, no, their arms will swing across their shoulders and you'll see this massive gesture. He does it almost like a little half-hearted in front of his body.
Maybe he can't, because of his biceps, Moscow, maybe he can't get him across properly.
It could be that. And then he looks across at his useless Lino, who we already knew had similarly stared straight at Jake Cooper wrestling Wilf Nyonto to the floor and them two fighting on the ground and just gone, I'm just going to keep looking at this. And I think he kind of, because he'd made this sort of meek, not confident gesture, I think he was then like, I really hope the Linos flagging or something so he knows what has happened here because he may have been looking at it, but his mind was elsewhere. And then when he gets nothing, there's then just another little kind of, oh, well, he's not flagged, so I'm going to do my little thing again. But there was no, I was expecting, you know, confident referees make confident gestures in that situation. I'm sure half the players probably didn't even notice him doing his little, no, I'm not giving it thing. Whereas there's normally like David Ellery or somebody would be like ready for takeoff when they're doing that kind of thing, flapping their arms about. He's just a joke, isn't he? He's a terrible. And if you look on some of the photo agency websites, you can find a pre-match photo shoot with him. He was doing some little photos of him putting the ball across the goal line. Somebody wanted to take some pictures of him doing that to demonstrate. I think it must have been asked for to demonstrate the technology because he's showing off his little wristwatch to say whether the ball's over the line or not. So he was. He'd had a great day of being like everyone's. Oh. We'll put your makeup on, get your hair done, and we'll get your photo shoot, we'll get the lighting, you look really cool, and then he's going to go out and referee Leeds versus Millwall, and then he just lost his mind.
Am I right in thinking that this is his Instagram account? Let's find out. I'm just clicking through. Football referee, Steve Martin referee. Is he from Stafford? It's got to be the same bloke.
It's surely not a fan account.
Well... No, what I'm saying is...
Maybe Purple Aki's set up an account for him.
So the account is Steve J. Martin Ref, and the picture is of a man with his profile pic is a picture of a man, sort of, it's a side profile, so he's looking out over the ocean, clearly on holiday, no top on, flexing his muscles. Must be the same bloke.
Yeah, you shouldn't have that.
Private account.
No, at least he's I suppose I can live with a private account actually.
You're saying referees shouldn't be allowed on Instagram?
No, I think a private account's fine. It was more if it's like a for his own publicity. I feel like it's
promotional account.
Yeah, I feel like that's not acceptable.
So yeah, we know he's from Staffordshire. So what? Stoke fan, Port Vale fan.
Prop me.
There we go. Makes you think. Matt Letizia gif. Right, next, where are we going?
This is back to the man in the garden, and he thought there was a bit of a golfing class, but he thought they did all right.
Now, the golfing quality between the two clubs was fucking evident today. It was there for all to see. But that performance by Millwall, bar what happened in the final third, was pretty good today. But the 4 substitutions, they gave us a bit of impetus. They gave us a bit of fresh legs at a time when we needed more up front. We needed more. And then we created the chances. These kids, they don't know we're filming on Lions TV. Bloody kids. You want to play football? Play for Millwall. The dog's going to play for Millwall.
Yeah, that veered off, didn't it?
He does this, which I do quite enjoy, really. But yeah, he had already addressed the dog in a previous clip. So there's a dog just sat with a football in its mouth at one point. Mm-hmm. And he's going to play for Millwall.
Good.
Apparently so. I didn't expect this next clip from Millwall, actually. It's Celebration Police. I don't know why. I feel like giving Millwall happy to celebrate.
Don't want to get the Roses involved.
Just like being Millwall. Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Somebody snitched.
We'll deal with it ourselves.
He's grassed it up.
And he's also...
We will sort this.
He also seems to be blaming Leeds for moving the kickoff, which clearly is nothing to do with us.
I noticed that obviously they only sold the back of the West Stand part that they've got, and this season they've given the bit at the front to the Leeds fans. Didn't do that on Sunday, did they?
No,
didn't do that on Sunday.
Mate, you're celebrating being top of the league, beating a Millwall side that, your wage bill's 67 million, as is 6.7 million. And you're celebrating like you've won the fucking FA Cup. You made it as difficult as you could for our fans to get up there 3 o'clock on a Sunday, because you don't want 2,000 mil up there, 3,000, creating that kind of atmosphere that I believe we could have snatched a draw today.
Didn't Sky move it?
And also 3 p.m. on a Sunday, you're going to London. There are loads of trains back to London on Sunday.
2 hours and 10 minutes, isn't it?
And on the kickoff, Did you notice that they had two of their players had bombed forward before the kickoff was taken?
I saw that in your match report, Moscow, and it's funny because I noticed exactly that from the kickoff. I was like, I wanted to referee, officials, pull it back and start again.
And they ended up standing right in front of the lino on that side.
Yep.
Wearing bright orange shirts and shorts, and the ball was booted straight to them. So it's kind of from the very beginning, the officials in that game were just like, oh, let them do that. That's fine. So I don't know what time we could have moved the kickoff to accommodate Millwall cheating around it.
It's frustrating, Moscow, though, that we moved it to the non-traditional 3 p.m. kickoff.
I mean, on a Sunday, I admit it's not great. I'd rather it wasn't 3 p.m. on a Sunday.
They were all in church, weren't they?
But let's not pretend getting back to London at like 6 o'clock on a Sunday is impossible. There'll be about another 4 trains at least, won't there, after that?
They're every half an hour.
So just get on one of them and don't moan about it.
Right. What if their engineering works, though?
Well, that was probably Leeds United instigated those as well.
Do you think another 1,500 Millwall fans would have affected the result to the extent that our friend thinks it would have?
More of that. It's one of the worst songs, isn't it?
Let's have a song.
Leeds didn't trouble us that much today. Old Jimmy Somerville, happy together. The Leeds wanker did nothing, did he? Pad a puff.
Sorry?
I think
that was an Erasure song.
I think that's an Erasure song he's tried to do there.
Yeah.
which is a mistake.
So it was an Erasure song, thinking it was Jimmy Somerville. It was in the Communards and not Erasure, about Crescenzio Somerville. Is that what we're getting at?
That's it.
Super.
I do like his songs, though.
Yeah, they're good.
At some point, I'm going to put together a little medley of them.
I want an album. Have you thought about collaborating
with him?
Yeah.
No.
His schedule's not going to match up.
No.
It's
too scary.
Right, go on next.
Let's go. Should we go back to the stadium or a drunk man outside a pub?
Oh, pub.
Pub man. All right, this is a drunk man outside a pub. He does admittedly start this video by saying, I'm a bit pissed, so sorry about this. But here he is, talking about gravy.
Listen, we know up north they love gravy, don't we? I know it was different gravy today. But I wouldn't say that. They weren't like Bisto or anything like that. They was just, they're top of the tree for a reason.
All right.
Not Bisto.
I mean, Bisto's a fairly mediocre granule. It's a time-saving granule gravy, yeah.
Yeah, you're not going. If you're in a restaurant, you don't want Bisto, do you?
No, definitely.
Bisto's not the best gravy.
There is Bisto Best, though, isn't there? Of course.
Yeah, true. I use the Bisto, not the instant powder ones. You know, the one that just sort of thickens it. That's quite good. Where you mix that with the juices and stuff.
Oh,
that's all right.
Somebody's doing well.
That's all right.
It must be nice.
He'll clearly be thinking about the gravy that his old ma used to make. That's the standard, isn't it? We know this.
Do they have? He was saying it's a northern thing, isn't it? I mean, us northern boys do love gravy. We would never fall back on regional stereotypes on this, on this podcast, thankfully. And I guess you can't put them on cockles, can you? No, your gravy. So. And jellied eels from gravy's not gonna, and so on and so forth. Next, back to the stadium, and he's got music playing underneath him, which we'll hear more of in a bit. But he just saying results, what he expected, more or less.
Full time from Ellen Road. Leeds 2, Millwall 0. We've been treated to some classics down the years between these two teams. 3-2 to them last time, 4-3 to us the time before. Today was not a classic by any stretch. I got what I came for, basically. Leeds the better side in the first half by far and away. The better side. We came here, we had a game plan, we knew where it was going to be, and that's where it had to be. If he's not going to compete with them going toe-to-toe, we set up to be compact, be rigid, consolidate, frustrate Leeds, and the referee and linesman definitely helped with that latter one. They were awful from both sides.
Yeah, both sides.
Fair enough. But the next clip, I disagree.
It's a great goal, but it should have been a red card, in my opinion, for the goal scorer. Him and Cooper have a tussle, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And he then elbows Coops in the chops. It should have gone off, in my opinion. Music's killing me.
I do love that.
It makes me think we should play it louder and play more of it.
Yeah, turn the speakers up in there.
Just particularly in the away end, just to ruin it.
Norwich-style white noise. I mean, 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, and yet he thought Gnonto should have been sent off. Is he saying that Cooper should have been sent off as well?
That was fine. That was just Cockney wrestling.
Right.
The crucial difference, and the thing whether is if that had been the Premier League, it probably would have been VAR'd into a red for Wilf, is because his forearm goes across Cooper's chin and neck as he's putting his head back into the ground from whence it came, and that's probably, it's a bit close, but where he would Wilf would excuse himself as he was just doing that, he is shoving this guy to the ground. It's not like he's punched him on the corner of the chin. He's not gone for his jaw. It's kind of just of the way that they've come together, and that's how he's put him down. In the Premier League, I reckon they go through that in slow motion, and Wilf is off.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so, because contact with the face.
With the face?
With the fucking face. I think there's just too much at a Premier League level that they would...
They would delight in sending somebody off for being naughty.
Yeah, they'd spend 5 minutes going through it and be like, oh, well, he's touched his chin, so he's got to be sent off for it, no matter what the sort of circumstances around it, whether it was meaningful or whether it was just, because he kind of tried to, he's used his forearm to push him down on his chest, but because of the positions that they are as they're rotating on the ground, it's his arm is at the top of his chest, and he ends up getting him in the chin, and he puts him down. He uses the chin as leverage, and I think, Premier League video jockeys would be all over that for a red, but it shouldn't have been. Like it should not be. The yellow for both was probably about right, but also if they'd blown or the liner would waved his damn flag to stop the whole thing as soon as Cooper was pulling him to the ground, then whatever happens after that has a different complexion.
Yeah, I kind of put this in the category of deserved it, which I'm sure probably isn't. It doesn't maybe fall into.
Do you think Stockley Park, they're sat there thinking, did he deserve that?
Well, why is Gnonto down there in the first place? It's because he's been laid on top of by a 6'7" man, and then he's being dragged around with him as he's trying to get up. So if you get elbowed in the face when that's going on, fine.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Yeah. Okay. And excellent referee Stephen Martin with his biceps saw it that way.
He didn't see anything though, did he? Because he wasn't.
I bet he loves a wrestle.
He wasn't watching at any point in that game. Is what I think he was going on vibes rather than anything else.
Whose vibes are we going to examine next then?
Well, I don't really like hearing other teams in the title promotion race doing well, but Ipswich did beat Sheffield Wednesday 6-0, which does have a certain amusement still. So we had Clates 08 when we played Sheffield Wednesday the other week, and we've got him now. I've joined him here. It's quite a long clip, but I've joined him on his journey from 2-0 through to 6-0.
Can you hear it ebbing away, his life?
Through to a car. Yeah, you get the usual thing where you get very angry in the middle, and then by the end you're sort of accepting it, and then the anger kicks in a little bit more because you're like, fucking hell. Plus you're in Ipswich, I suppose, for this one, which is going to hurt a little bit for the drive back. But this is just some upset.
result than this. Fucking hell. I'm absolutely embarrassed. Dad, I know you don't want your reaction in the vlog, but it's got to happen. What are your thoughts?
This is swearing fucking crap.
Oh, Dad. I mean, it's great, isn't it?
They were so hopeful as well, weren't they? When they played us, they were like, oh, things are turning around. We can get a result there. They've gone from that to that.
I thought Jan Poveda coming back was supposed to make Did he not play? Was he, was he out of this game?
I don't know, actually.
I do like the dad's prefacing his... I wonder if he does it all the time. This is swearing. And then, I don't know, this is me deciding what to have for breakfast. I think I'll have some bacon. That might be what he does all the time. This is me being thirsty. Would anyone like a cup of tea?
Right,
what a great guy to live with.
Let's have a look at whether Jan Poveda did play.
It can't have been. They would have at least a point at Ipswich if Jan was on the pitch.
He started the game and played.
Did they take him off after 10 minutes or something?
53 minutes they took him off.
What was the score at that point?
It was 3-0 at half time, so...
Yeah. So I think they'd given up by that point.
They didn't fancy a 3-3 draw.
2, 3. No, I think it was 4 at the point at which they took him off. Yeah, because the last 2 goals came 80 and 90 minutes.
Then the only possible explanation is no Bannon?
No, Barry Banan was playing there in midfield. He got a 6 out of 10. Jan Poveda got 6.5 out of 10. I think was the highest. Yeah, it was the highest scoring of the Sheffield Wednesday Owls.
Who was to blame?
What, for this game?
Based on the algorithm-based scores.
The algorithm has not... The keeper's not fared that well. Little Jeremy Beadle, lad. 4.1 out of 10, says the algorithm. Your back 4.4.
He had a little hand in that defeat.
Yep, 4.4 and 4.6, your centre halves. Left back, 5.4, 6.1, and then, it got slightly better as it went forward. But nobody really faring particularly well.
It won't have been Chansiri's fault.
Yeah, it'll have been due to the fans being negative.
Yeah, I was going to say, he said, why are we so crap in that clip before? It's not Chansiri, is it? It's reasons.
You need to just be more positive and get behind the team and don't be like Leeds. Mm-hmm. That's the main thing.
Yeah, somebody's probably tweeted some negativity before that game, and that's been the big problem.
I did briefly dip into some Rotherham Huddersfield stuff, but it was 0-0 and it seemed like an awful game. I think there were about 400 completed passes between the two sides.
All season.
More or less. Yeah. Might as well.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Right.
Just a result that pleases absolutely nobody, that, isn't it? Rotherham be like, this is probably our best chance to win between now and the end of the season. Huddersfield thinking we've got to win this. And
yet there is some low-key satisfaction as a Leeds fan, just based on pure pettiness of seeing that it's all 3 Yorkshire sides in the bottom 3, aren't they?
Yeah. Seeing how it happened. I mean, I don't mind. Rotherham are kind of all right, aren't they?
And they're harmless enough, aren't they? Yeah. They looked after Luciano for a bit.
And Steve Evans and little Chrissy Dawson and Peltz. All the good lads are there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yes, in terms of it not helping anybody, it helped us all have a very low-key chuckle, didn't it? So that's good, isn't it?
So from celebrating an Ipswich win,
yep.
Should we celebrate a Scum win?
Yeah, let's do that. One of our favourite.
That was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
This is Andy Tate, who you'll know from stuff outside
from the internet. You mean
from the internet? You'll know him.
Yeah.
Not the bald misogynist one. Here he is outside Old Trafford.
I thought you were talking about yourself then.
Getting completely lost in describing a Man United victory over Liverpool.
It's like a porno, wasn't it? Like a porno. You start off good, you're enjoying it, you're grinding away. Then you slack off, you drop off, you go limp, you get fucked over, you come again, you rise again. Then the second half, you get fucked again. And in the second quarter, you get that last minute double climax and you fuck them Scouse bastards over all the way down back the M62 to Scouseland.
I've not seen that one.
What's he been watching?
Are you sure that wasn't the bald misogynist? From what I gather, that's what it's all about.
Some very, very complex twists and turns in that.
I was going to say he's very excited, isn't he? But that kind of feeds back into the idea. Yeah.
I don't know if he's talking about being in a porno, which I dread to think. Surely that hasn't happened.
Maybe that's a secondary career, media figure like that.
Or whether he's watching one and he's just getting really lost along the way.
Mm.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah. So there's that. When it comes to what's the word I want to use? Excitement. That's the euphemism I'm going to use. I'm going to tee you up to do this then, Michael. What is it?
Leicester Till I Die.
So our friends
TV1.
Leicester Till I Die TV Channel 1.
I will say I can't listen to
Midnight Freeview, as we're calling it.
They're on quite regularly, and I can't listen to everything they do because I just can't. You've heard it.
Right.
But I did think they were going live last night. I thought I'm going to watch it. I'm going to get to my first penis spunking reference, then I can call it a day.
Yeah, we were drowning in those references, weren't we, the other week when we discovered them?
Yes, we were.
The game, yeah.
So I was like, let's just hope there's a nice early one. I can stop listening.
So this
should we listen to the start of the show?
Yeah, I mean, this is 15 seconds.
And I think
story of your life.
I think basically here his picture wasn't maximised on the screen, so I think he had to click a blue button.
Yeah.
Leicester Till I Die.
Hello. Oh, look at that. Let me just pop a Viagra. And there we go. Works every time, that little blue pill. I couldn't swallow one the other day, ended up with a stiff neck.
Yep. There's a There's a guy who does a running bit of like listening to a song and by Lil Jon until he says yeah. And it's basically exactly the same bit where he'll just introduce someone, start it playing, and then the first noise you hear is Lil Jon going, yeah. So it's basically, you could just do that every week, is listen to Leicester Till I Die until they mention wanking. And it'll only take up a couple of minutes of your time every week. It'll be absolutely fine.
15 seconds.
Yeah.
15 seconds of pleasure there for you, Michael.
The first thing he has said before anything else on the stream is just Viagra, straight in.
Best of luck to them.
I feel like they need it.
Keep the Packers up for the end of the season and all that.
Right. Shall we?
That's it. Propaganda for a while, isn't it?
Yes, we're back after the international break with some propaganda.
Probably won't be listening to the Brazil and Belgium fans. That's what England are playing, isn't it?
I think it's
Wales.
It's the Welsh and the Finns that's going to be the crucial ones.
But yeah, we won't be doing that. So thanks for mentioning it anyway.
I might dig in, keep on top of, so to speak.
Yeah.
Leicester Till I Die TV 1, just to see what they're saying.
Yeah, cool. Better dash, lads. My fake taxi's just waiting outside. So we'll see in a bit.
The Square Ball Podcast.